Heats, over the years, actually for a long time, he didn't get me in the heats. I kept beating him for a long time, and then he beat me in a bunch of heats after that. But I think the first 5 or 6 heats we had, I won, but we had good heats even. We had some close ones. We had a heat at Bells, I think in 2006 or something. It was real big and choppy, and I think he started with like a 9.5 on his first wave, and somehow I got back and I won the heat. But Adriano is a guy, he never gives up. He gives 100% every time. So you have to be ready to put yourself out there when you have a heat with him. You have to get the good waves. You have to perform. You're not gonna win heat with Adriano just getting a couple average waves. So you really have to put together a good performance.
Okay, can I translate that part? Traduzindo aqui rapidamente, ele e o Adriano tiveram várias baterias boas. No começo parece que ele ganhou as primeiras 5, 6, aí depois o Adriano veio e devolveu os 5, 6 para ele. E assim, entre todas as baterias, ele lembra de uma em Bells, que o mar estava bem grande, Storm, e que o Adriano parece que começou a bateria com 9, 9,5, e isso fez perceber para o Kelly que todas as vezes que ele cai contra o Adriano, ele tem que dar um gás, porque o Adriano é o tipo do cara que dá o seu 100% e nunca desiste até que a bateria acabe. É um cara de muita raça, então você tem que estar pronto para dar o teu melhor, porque vai estar do lado de um cara que dá o seu melhor, né?
I know that there's been a lot of focus on Medina last year, 2 years. But one thing I noticed, at this point, the Souza is the Brazilian guy to beat. He's won in Rio, he's won in Portugal, he's won in Bells. He's won a lot of events around the world. And one thing I've noticed about Adriano, when we were in Santa Catarina a couple of years ago, and Jadson won that contest, and I could see the look on Adriano's face. I was like, oh man, there's a new guy. This guy's pushing me. And he even said something like, that's the new guy. I could see he was like bummed, but Adriano takes that and he makes it like an internal thing for him to get better. To get to his advantage. And I think that he wants to show everyone he has something to prove, and he's kind of setting the way. And I'm a lot older than he is, but he's kind of one of the older Brazilian guys now. So he doesn't want those guys to pass him, and so he's going to prove that he can do whatever he puts his mind to. And I think that's, he's very competitive like that. And like I said, he and I have had a lot of good heats. Probably the most memorable heat we've had. I don't know. I remember a lot of the heats. Probably the most memorable one was when he and I in Puerto Rico. Yeah, and my mom yelled at him after the heat, I think. Did she say something to you? I had to tell my mom to shut up. I felt bad.
Bom, traduzindo aqui, já começando pelo finalzinho, a bateria mais memorável, acho que foi em Porto Rico, quando eles surfaram e a mãe do Kelly andou jurando umas coisas lá pro Adriano na praia, ele teve que falar pra mãe dele ficar quieta e tal. E dá de ver que a rivalidade acontece, né? E eu acho que uma das coisas que ele descreveu ali, eu concordo, o Adriano é o tipo do cara que ele se aproveita de uma derrota ou da vitória de um rival para a sua própria vantagem, ele ganha forças ali. O que ele estava dizendo que o Gabriel Medina agora está virando uma grande atenção, que ele está chegando junto e tal, mas o brasileiro a ser batido é o Adriano, é ele que está no melhor lugar do ranking, que está disputando o título mundial. E uma coisa que o Adriano, que ele percebeu do Adriano assim, que o Adriano é um cara muito pragmático, né? Ele olha para a bateria, ele sabe que ele tem que fazer aquilo, ele sabe o ano que ele tem que completar. Não é um cara muito na questão do imprevisível. E ele viu uns anos atrás, quando o Jadson ganhou a etapa lá em Bituba, lá em Santa Catarina, foi inclusive contra o Kelly Slater, e ele olhou pro Adriano do lado, assistindo a bateria, e viu que ele estava roendo o osso ali, morrendo de vontade de estar lá no lugar do Jadson e tal, e usou aquilo à sua vantagem, tanto que no ano seguinte quem ganhou foi o Adriano, e aqui no Rio de Janeiro. Bom, alguém mais aí? Tem alguém ali atrás? Quer fazer pergunta? Vamos levar aqui o microfone. Pode mandar ver.
Eu queria saber se, pro Kelly e pro Adriano também, se em Bells Beach os brasileiros já fizeram bonito como um time, já deram aquela assustada, fizeram bonito mesmo. Eu quero saber se eles tiveram alguma preparação especial eles em casa. E pro Adriano, se o time continua unido, pronto para trabalhar de novo como equipe.
Okay, she's saying that when Adriano won in Bells, it was like the Brazilian gang or the team of Brazilian surfers and people around, we were all together united. Is there a special strategy to beat that when you're here in Brazil?
Gosh, this is going back a long time, but in 1990, I was in the world contest in Japan.
Yeah, the amateur.
Yeah, and in one of there's like 3 contests during the contest. So in the second contest, I made the final with 3 Brazilians. I think Pedersen maybe, and anyways, it was me against 3 Brazilians. Victor, yeah, and yeah, Pedersen, that's a guy. That's my guy right there.
Oh, Bronco.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So it was me against the 3, and I was like, oh shit, this is not fun. This is not fun. So I made a plan, and I said the only thing I can do, I can't surf with them. I'm going to start over here. I'm going to catch a wave there, and then I'm going to go over there. I'm going to catch a wave there, and I was like, I'm always going to be on the outside. Okay. I didn't want to be between
Keep
them.
avoiding the
I had to avoid them, yeah. And that was my plan, and it worked. I ended up getting some good waves, and it was the only way I knew I could compete in that heat. But
now, how are you going to make that happen here, like at this time?
There's 2 ways to think about it. You know, when you have a lot of backing, a lot of support, it's intimidating for other people.
Yeah.
And so that's a tough thing to deal with if you're the one guy.
Yeah.
But then if you're by yourself, you have to have a belief in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, if you have less people around you, you have to just keep more internally and not worry about the outside influence so much. So there's, one way or the other can be good. I tend to travel more by myself and just have 1 or 2 people with me.
And do you feel that in Brazil, when you're in Brazil, do you feel that you're like sort of left out, or you have that support? Because you're the kind of guy that people go for you also sometimes.
Yeah, no, I've had a tremendous amount of support in Brazil over the years. Surprising, especially when I first got on tour, I was surprised at how many people were supporting me.
Yeah.
And but I know how it is. People like to have their guys win. And Brazilians are more passionate than anybody, and they're going to be pulling for their guys this week. And I know if I have especially if you make it to a semi-final or final with a Brazilian guy, it's a tough job. It's intimidating. You got thousands of people that like want you to lose. It's tough.
Yeah, bom.